Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our 44th annual Macopin School promotion, our first ever outdoor ceremony. At this time, I'd like to ask Nicholas Brandeo to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to welcome Laurel Space.
Dr. Anemone, Mr. Citro, Mr. Proxarnical, members of the board, faculty, family, and friends. On behalf of the Student Council and the promoting class of 2021 at Macopin Middle School, I would like to thank you for joining us on this special evening. Tonight, we honor and celebrate the 8th graders who have persevered through unusual circumstances and are ready to be promoted to high school. I'm Laurel Space, a graduating 8th grader here at Macopin Middle School. Alongside myself, Lauren Jakubczyk, Jess Pritchett, and Nick Brandeo were elected to the Student Council and had the honor of working with each other and our advisor, Mr. Jakes. I would like to thank Mr. Jakes for working hard to make the Student Council as similar as years past and for his determination to help us make just as great a difference. Because of COVID-19, the Student Council was limited to projects and ideas that we could set in action. Going into this year, we knew it wasn't going to be nearly as simple or familiar as years past, but with our positive mindset and creative thinking, we were able to accomplish more than Mr. Jakes anticipated. In October, when students were being transitioned back into the building, we welcomed them with a decorated cafeteria filled with spiders, coffins, and any skeletons we could find for Halloween. Fast forward to Thanksgiving, when we launched a competition between homeroom classes who could collect the most canned goods for our food drive. By the end of the competition, we raised almost double of what we expected, a total of 700 items, which were donated to a local food pantry. Next, we held the annual Giving Tree, and between it and a shopping trip to Five Below, we were able to donate hundreds of dollars worth of gifts. After the new year, we used the infamous Google Meet to our advantage. We held a school-wide movie night and had over 250 students attend. Student Council and the Make a Change Club followed it up with a Spirit Week for each cluster, which consisted of daily themes. Following Spirit Week, we decorated the cafeteria again for the week we were all waiting for, spring break. It was a fun way to excite the students before a week of no school. Finally, next week we are looking forward to our 8th grade cluster wars, which we worked hard to make happen. Despite the fact that the number of activities doesn't add up to previous student councils, the impact possibly exceeds those of years past. 8th grade was a hard year for all of us, teachers, students, parents, but look at us now. We are sitting here today with our gowns on and our heads held high, promoting not only Macopin Middle School, but the struggles we overcame this year. We thrived with encouragement and dedication from our teachers, Mr. Citro, Mr. P, and most importantly, each other. As a student council, we would like to thank our fellow classmates for being there for each other and not giving up on yourselves. It was Helen Keller who said, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. This quote truly embodies the class of 2021. And now, students will receive their diplomas after we listen to inspiring words from Donna Stinziano and a greeting from Mr. Citro and Dr. Anamone. Please refer to the program for the order that diplomas will be presented. Congratulations to the promoting class of 2021. I'd like to introduce Donna Stinziano with our student address.
Dear Dr. Anamone, teachers, administrators, staff, members of the Board of Education, friends, family, and the promoting class of 2021. Our 2-year journey here at Macopin has been like the rock wall at Fairview, our 7th grade 3-day 2-night camping trip. Waiting in line to climb the wall was scary, but once we were back down, all we wanted was to climb again. We remember going to Macopin for the first time in 6th grade for tours and hearing Mr. Pehe, Mr. Citro, and the current 8th graders to have 2 years at Macopin fly by, and all you want was to do it again. We never believed them until now. On the first day of 7th grade, we all stared at the building, wondering how we were going to make the climb all the way to the top, to the end of 8th grade. Our schedules felt like our friends, yelling at us from the bottom, trying to direct us on where to place our hands and feet next. Our lockers, they were the rocks that were almost impossible to get a good grip on. We started our climb on September 5th, 2019, placing one hand and one foot at a time. By October, we had a steady grip. Everything was running so smoothly. We had monthly activity nights where we could dance until our feet hurt and sing, laugh, and talk until we had no voice. We could forget about the upcoming test or the huge project that was due at the end of the week. There were so many memories made in just a few hours of the activity nights. Who could forget the haunted hallway, where we were all practically scared to death by our teachers who were dressed up like cows? What about Santa Conway at the holiday activity night? Or when Mr. Matthews refused to wear goggles while getting high in the face at our giving thanks one? Next came Fairview, a steep climb for many of us. We were all pushed out of our comfort zone by spending 3 days and 2 nights with almost 200 kids we had never met. However, those 3 days made the most amount of memories. None of us can forget Mr. Jake's square dancing. Give a Goat Night was also a highlight of 7th grade. Who would want to see teachers make complete fools out of themselves while doing it for a good cause? Who can forget watching Miss Paluzzi enjoy her time laying down at the beach, or more commonly known as the gym floor? March 13th was our last in-person day for the rest of the year due to the spread of COVID-19. We all stopped climbing the wall that day. We were able to look down and see what we had accomplished, but we couldn't look up to see what was yet to come. On the first Monday of distance learning, we were climbing a completely different wall. Just like September, it took a while for us to get a steady grip. We were all still climbing, not as smoothly as before, but we made it work. Our school days turned into Google Meets, Zooms, Google Classroom announcements, and posted assignments. Eventually, we did manage to get a good grip on the rocks. Before we knew it, we were on our last ever Zooms as 7th graders. We closed our Chromebooks one last time as 7th graders and stopped to look at the view. It wasn't the clear view that everyone pictured. We tried looking into our 8th grade year, but that was unclear also. We didn't know what September would bring. Would we be in person all 5 days? Would we be hybrid or all virtual? We started our 8th grade year all virtual. This rock wall was different, but yet so similar to the one we had climbed last year. This time, the rocks were a little easier to get a grip on, and we were able to climb a little more smoothly. Even though it was through screen that we got to meet our teachers and our teachers got to meet us, we made the most out of it. October 1st was the first time that some of us were in person since March. This would now be the second and the third first day of school. We were climbing yet another rock wall. However, this one was much different than the past two. Yes, there was still some steep climb, but it was much easier to get a good grip on. We would be back in the building with people who would show us firsthand where to make our next move in our climb. Even while doing hybrid learning, we were able to make so many memories along the way. Who can forget when the entire class would group together to plan a thank you project for a teacher, or asking Mr. Jakes with the lunches. We climbed the wall of hybrid learning for quite some time after that. At some points during that climb, we had to stop and hang on to our rope for a second, just to think about where we would put our hands and feet next. We would think about which move would make it the easiest for us for the rest of the year. But we made it to the top, and we could of our hybrid learning rock wall. This time, the view was clear as day. We could see the next part of our 8th grade climb. As we dropped from the hybrid wall, we could see our next obstacle waiting for us. Everyone had the option to go back in 5 days in person. This would now be our first day of school. Even though we were all excited to see some of our friends we hadn't seen since March 2020, we were also nervous. We knew that things were going to be different, but we didn't know how. Sure, most of us had already been in person half the time since October, but it was still different. We started our climb all over again. For most of us, it was so much more enjoyable than the past 3 climbs we had done the past 2 years. The memories we had made from April to now are unbelievable. Who can forget when someone broke the sink right off the wall in the boys' bathroom? Or the reminders every Wednesday that it was hump day. Or the endless quotes from teachers that make us laugh even months later. Memories like these made our climb so much easier. Even though some days we get endless assignments, we were always able to find something to laugh about. We were able to find the good out of everything. The once impossible footholds now became like stairs, faster and easier to conquer. Next came finals. Everyone dreaded this part of the year. We hadn't taken them in 7th grade, so we had no idea how it would go. But we knew that after these dreaded 4 days, there would be fun waiting for us right around the corner. It would be a time where we could stop focusing on climbing the wall and just hang there. We were all so excited for the promotion party right after our ceremony here. We were all waiting for the memories that are without a doubt going to be made. And then in a few days, we will have our first ever in-person clusters here at Macopin. None of us can wait for the friendly, yet intense competition that is soon to come. Here we are, getting promoted to high school. As our names get called to get our diploma, we ring the bell at the top of the wall and let everyone know we made it. We had enough perseverance and stamina to make it to the top. Before we take our journey back down and into summer, stop and look at the view. It's clear. We see our entire year right below us. Although we can't see what the future holds for us, we know it will be something good. Congratulations to the Macopin class of 2021.
Thank you all for being here tonight. As I began to write this speech, I reflected back on what the past 2 years have been like for these students. I thought about how difficult the past 15 months have been for them and for all of us. The loss, the pain, the anxiousness, and the uncertainty. Then I began to think about all that these students missed out on. Our activity nights, Broadway, and of course, Washington. However, I didn't like the tone that speech was taking. So instead, I think we should focus on what we've learned and all that these students have accomplished. After all, school is about learning. We learned about perseverance, or as Donna called it, the rock climb. Both students and staff demonstrated this as we worked through the closing of school, then the partial reopening of school, then the complete reopening of school. You proved that you could learn in a less than optimal environment, and that you could be responsible for your own learning, and you could keep grinding away under the most adverse conditions. We learned about appreciation. We learned to appreciate the little things that we so often took for granted, like being able to drop your children off in front of the school without having to wait all the way up Highlander Drive. Like only having one set of bells to indicate the change of classes, and like being able to talk to your teacher and your classmates face to face, and like being able to stay after school for extra help and clubs. We learned about the importance of true human interaction, as Laurel explained to us. Our students and staff were so happy when we were able to open for in-person instruction this spring. The energy in the building was palpable as the hallways filled with noise and our classrooms with discussions. Gone were the ceiling fans, icons, and avatars that we were so used to seeing. They were replaced with real, live, little humans. For many of you, this led to an increase in your participation and, of course, an increase in your grades. We learned there is some benefit to technology that is not tied to Snapchat, Instagram, or TikTok. We learned how to create videos, presentations, and artwork through digital platforms. We learned to upload and download work. We learned how to share, save, and export files. You even attended extra help sessions at home through Google Classroom. You students, along with our outstanding staff, have been able to achieve success. We may measure it a little bit differently this year, but you have been successful and you should all be proud. In some instances, society was telling us things couldn't be done. It was too hard, it was too much work, no one would be able to do it, but you all did. Just this year, you restocked our food pantries during the holidays, you donated toys and gifts to local charities. You, the class of 21, have made a difference. You played music, sang songs, produced artwork, wrote stories, solved problems, conducted experiments, built stools and gumball machines. You performed a musical, 3 concerts, and a district-wide arts festival. The success of all of you comes from the support of some important people, many of whom are here tonight. Dr. Anamone, our superintendent of schools, Mr. Novak, our director of education, Dr. McQuaid, our director of special services, and Mrs. Francisco, our school business administrator. I'd also like to thank Mr. Jordan and Ms. Burns for providing the audio and video for tonight's event. Additionally, I would like to thank Mrs. Fink, our promotion coordinator, and her crew of volunteers. It's been a crazy end of the year for all of us, but Mrs. Fink and her team have done an outstanding job putting tonight together to you. We have a dedicated PTO as well. They provided the shirts you all received this morning, and they will provide the decorations for tonight's dance. Would our PTO board members please stand? Our Board of Education has always been so supportive of our programs and our school, and this year was no different. We have a few of those dedicated volunteers with us tonight. Would our board members please stand? Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't thank our parents and our families. I know this has not been an easy year and a half for you either. Learning the technology and keeping teenagers focused was a monumental task, and you people in the bleachers have handled it admirably. I'm proud of the partnership that we've formed as a school community, and I appreciate your support and flexibility over the last 15 months. Finally, I would like to thank our outstanding staff. You were faced with challenge after challenge, and you continued to answer the bell and look for better ways to educate our students. I know this has not been an easy, but you refuse to let the challenges get the best of you. I would specifically like to recognize our new 6th and 7th grade teachers. Not only did you have to adjust to an entirely new school with all new processes and procedures, but you did it during these times. I'm thrilled to be here at the end of the year at promotion, trust me, but I'm also very excited to get back to work in the fall. I'm lucky to be able to work with Mr. Proxarnical, our assistant principal. His job can be a thankless one at times, but we would not be here talking about all of you today without his help and his leadership. So thank you, Mr. P. Each year, some of our staff members make the decision to retire. This year, we have 7 staff members. Leaving this year after 26 years will be Mrs. Linda Bagley. Mr. John Barno, after 38 and a half years in education and 10 years in West Milford. Mr. John Calley, 21 years of service as an art teacher. Mrs. Chilada, 34 years as a social studies teacher. Mrs. Decker, 25 years as a special class aide. Mr. Fink, 33 years as a physical education teacher. And Mrs. Lori Kelly, 18 years as special class aide. Each year, the President of the United States recognizes academic success in the classroom. That feedback is not me, by the way. I can say success. Feels like I'm stumbling over it. I'm almost done, too, by the way. Those students recognized with an A average and have taken at least one honors class at Macopin School. Would the 49 students who have received the Presidential Award for Educational Excellence please stand to be recognized? One of the greatest honors at Macopin School is to be inducted into the Thomas A. Kraft chapter of the National Junior Honor Society. These students must maintain a 3.75 GPA throughout their 2 years with us. They must excel in the areas of scholarship, leadership, character, service, and citizenship. This year we inducted 58 students. With the 2021 members of the National Junior Honor Society, please stand to be recognized. Each year, staff members recognize individual students for outstanding achievement in the content areas. At this time, our teachers will present those awards. The Visual Art Award, given by Mrs. Poet, will go to Julia Riley. The Business Award, given out by Mrs. Chilada, goes to Lorenzo Andrade. The French Award, given out by Miss Garcia, goes to Zoe Fuchs. The German Award, given out by Mr. Sondermeyer, goes to Laurel Space. The Outstanding Achievement in Individualized Program Award will be given by Mrs. Zakharoff. That award goes to Damian Gregg. The instrumental or music award is given by Ms. McPartland, and that award goes to Donna Stinzian. The Italian award will be given by Mrs. Paulino. That award goes to Corey Stillman. The Language Arts Award given by Mr. Andruli goes to Megan Seidner. Unfortunately, Mr. Andruli and Ms. Seidner cannot be here tonight, but Megan wins our Language Arts Award. Our Mathematics Award given by Mr. Conway goes to Lorenzo Andrade. The Multimedia Award, given by Ms. Chilada, goes to Gretchen Aletsko. The Phys Ed Award, given by Mr. Benz, goes to Lorenzo Andrade. Another Phys Ed Award given by Mrs. Jones goes to Alexandra Gruber. Our Science Award, given by Ms. Bosemeyer, goes to Owen Rem. Our History Award, presented by Mr. Zakharov, will also go to Megan Seidman. Our Spanish Award, given by Mrs. Paulino, will go to Lauren Jacobczyk. Our STEM Award, given by Miss Alexander, goes to Madeline Schaefer. And last but not least, our Vocal Music Award, presented by Mrs. Catshaw, goes to Jess Pritchett. My sincere hope that all of you will look back on our 2 years with fond memories and all that you've accomplished. Congratulations to all of you and good luck. Dr. Animo, it is my pleasure to present to you the Macopin class of 2021.
Macopin Middle School class of 2021, and welcome to your graduation ceremony. Thank you to all our parents and family members here tonight supporting you. Thank you to Mr. Citro, Mr. P, and the entire teaching and support staff. Additional thank you to Mrs. Terry Dwyer, Board of Education Vice President, former WMHS teacher, she did here tonight. Board Trustee Ray Garino, Board Trustee Jay Stillman, Board Trustee Mike Conklin, Board Trustee Kim Romeo, Board Trustee Courtney Seeds. I'll start off my brief remarks with a quote from Michael Altshuler, financial analyst and investor. He said, "The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Your time at Macopin flew by in the blink of an eye. You entered Macopin in the fall of 2019, and since then, a few things have changed. What hasn't changed is your spirit, your tenacity, your dedication to your school and to each other, and the overwhelming sense of kindness. Graduate from Macopin ready for the challenges of high school. Speaking on behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to thank you for all your hard work and for being wonderful representatives of our school community. I wish you all a fun evening at your dinner dance. Thank you and good night.
Jess and Lauren.
Kendra Austin.
Kyra Burlum.
Massimo Balistreri.
Andrew Reese.
Samantha Bauer.
Jaden Foster.
Natalie Casella.
Jude Otto.
Vincent DeAndrea.
Jordan Pope.
How do you say her name?
Cassidy DiMaggio.
Patrick Schaefer.
Brianna Hallahan.
Justin Fenning.
Lily Kreitzer.
Gavin Marshall.
Lily Petronoski.
Aiden Panfili.
Dylan Preziosi. Wait.
Lindsay Whitner.
Gianna Gramaglia.
Luke Zurek.
Jacqueline Regan.
Mason Brancato.
Michaela Rose.
Faith Curto.
Cassandra Babinski.
Michael DeMarco.
Cole Stillman.
William Matthew Evans.
Colin Torno.
Darnese Fucci.
Anthony Weiss.
John Karamesian.
Kylie Zelowinski.
Sebastian Maurer.
Lorenzo Andrade.
Tyler Meyer.
Kira Bowman.
Caitlin Murphy.
Meredith Brunetto.
Colin Smith.
Jolie DiRobertis.
Miguel Tapia.
Carly Donahoe.
Abigail Veering.
Richard Durgan.
Lucas White.
Lucy Fry.
Mia Yang.
Zoe Fuchs.
Samantha Zabrowski.
Kyle Gloria.
Joelle Campos.
Haley Grunler.
Benjamin Faraji.
Chloe Gunther.
Emma Morgan.
Samantha Indo.
Anthony Ostalaza.
Molly Kane.
Logan Passarello Daly.
Haley Caprell.
Braden Primavera.
Tyler Ligori.
Christopher Rosner.
Rhodey Loveland.
Ashley Sanchez Diaz.
Ariana Pollard.
Madison Spear.
Julia Riley.
Gavin Tenhove.
Tyler Rohr.
Riley Treptow.
Madeline Shaper.
Braden White.
Colby Scott.
Daniel Rittenauer.
Laurel Space.
Azad Yavuz.
Corey Stillman.
Valdrita Dowdy.
Adelina Tuzio.
Owen Ginder.
Brianna Acosta.
Dorothy Moran.
Patrick Baba.
Daniel Novak.
Lucian Barca.
Jillian Rasp.
McKenna Bush. Yeah.
Aiden Rega.
Gianna Marie Card.
Vivian Cernick.
Mark Clare.
Gregory Chaim.
Elizabeth Gomez.
Shannon Dalcase.
Alexandra Gruber.
Caroline Gable.
Shimon Krempaski.
Hunter Hars.
Natalie Mulholland.
Danielle Hernandez.
Mackenzie Odell.
Christopher Janet.
Benjamin Otto.
Alyssa Mann.
Ella Pageant.
Christian Martinez.
Jonas Paulino.
Stephanie McManus.
Timothy Reinhardt Flockbauer.
Garrett Moskowitz.
Aaron Smith.
Dylan Orofino.
Lilith Struble.
Jacob Sanchez.
Kyle Vogel.
Tyler Santangelo.
Jesse Arujo.
Christopher Tatro.
Addison Arsenega.
Julia Wimes.
Brianni Checo.
Nicholas Barbella.
Lindsay DiLorenzo.
Angel Campos.
Sierra Edmond.
Sean Conklin.
Ethan Garcia.
Anthony DeFeedy.
Aiden Hanley.
Riley Drew.
Eliana Haas.
Derek Gong Reese.
Gretchen Alechko.
Ian Harris.
Benjamin Lighty.
Abigail Hires.
Kira Mulligan.
John Hughes.
Brendan Opat.
Ava Jacobus.
Lisa Pachocchio.
Vincent Janetsko.
Kayla Rose.
Heather Lair.
Sarah Rottenberg.
Landon McKenzie.
Julia Sabian.
Dominic Maffetone.
Ryan Tatro.
Victoria Musso.
Hunter Timmerman.
Amanda O'Brien.
Zachary Whitner.
David Ovales Taveras.
Leonard Alka.
Javoin Savkov.
Alexa Bass.
Enya Barrett.
Emily Basida.
Brianne Bell.
Nicholas Brandeo.
Spencer Brownlee.
Devin Bunsen.
Amanda Carolyn.
Nicholas Carbone.
Ethan Cirillo.
Joachim Casiato Sonnenberg.
Jillian Crane.
Cyrus Cruz.
Dean Deaver.
Jason Dorico.
Bridget Henkel.
Haley Davis.
Daxton Keller.
Michael DeGilio.
Madison Kent.
Carson DeRobertis.
Ogden Lejusic.
Nicholas Douglas.
Daniela Montalbano.
Jake Alamini.
Carl Mueller.
Kyle Frommelt.
Leah Norton.
Maxwell Gorney.
Owen Rem.
Julie Gutierrez.
Larissa Rochi.
Addison Hunger.
Nola Scotchamara.
John Kinsicki.
Hannah Seiler.
Evan Lynch.
Jennifer Zhang.
Lindsay Malik.
Alyssa Callahan.
Marcus Morgan.
Damian Gray.
Arelis Munoz.
Zoe Lisbona.
John Munoz.
Matthew McConnell.
Bridget Nevin.
Marcus Milligan.
Adip Waruli.
Armani Musino.
Talia Ringressi.
Zoe Viscana.
Haley Rubenacher.
Ryan McCauley.
Michael Sanchez Vasquez. Jordan Suhusky. Callie Thompson. Thomas Trapasso. Gwendolyn Van Wyk. Brianna Wondrak. Adrina Hutzel. Christopher Timmons.
Jess Pritchett.
Lauren Jakobczyk.
How about just one more hand for the class of 2021? So thank you very much to all of our parents who made it out today. I know that we changed plans on you guys a couple of times. So as I said earlier, I appreciate your flexibility and you're willing to kind of accommodate us. At the end of the ceremony, which will be just a couple seconds from now, we're going to release all the students back out through the gate that they came in. You guys can come down the bleachers and meet them over there, do some pictures or whatever you'd like with your family. The dance starts at 7 o'clock at the Lake Mohawk Country Club for those of you that are going, and pickup is promptly at 9 o'clock. You don't need to walk them in or sign them out. You can just drop them by the door. We'll bring them inside and then we'll release them back to you all at 9 o'clock. So once again, thank you very much for coming. Class of 21, you are dismissed.